Welcome back everybody to the Intox Masters Day 3 Taipei action as we are at the start of Group D. That is the final group that Nathanius and I will be covering for you guys. And we are already ready to hop into our first game of Group D. One of the only two best of threes, Nate, that you and I will be casting. We're almost done! Senpai, notice us!
It's all ogre.
It is indeed all ogre. It's going to be an awesome one though. It will be PartinG versus Hydra. We can just go ahead and hop into Secret Spring, as that is going to be our first map of this beautiful best of three.
We're starting another series that is not beginning on Overgrowth of Catalan, and these players are learning.
I'm already pumped.
I'm really excited. As you guys can see, we have two awesome players to kick off our Group D action. In the southwest position, we have our red Protoss player, known for being a spunky, bit cheeky of a player. He is, of course, Yoey Flashwolves PartinG,
also known as Big Boy PartinG.
Big Boy PartinG.
And a big boy he is, a crazy party boy as well. He's going up against one of the top dogs in the WCS Western scene for the upcoming year. Of course, he is the latest recruit, well, not really the latest anymore, but he's the latest Korean recruit to Root Gaming. It is the one and only Hydra. I'm excited to see Hydra play, man. I really can't wait to see how good he is, what we can expect from him. We had the pleasure of spending quite a bit of time around this dude during the Red Bull Battlegrounds Global.
Yeah.
He was really chill. He was surprisingly friendly.
His English is very good, too.
Yep, and he wasn't that shy either. He was a little bit more quiet than Impact and a few of the others that were there. And then MMA, of course. MMA is a big joker. But still, I was like, man, for a Caspa guy, this guy is actually, his social skills are good.
Yeah, Hydra was an absolute pleasure to work with, and you know, being in Root, he's asked me a couple questions about WCS of the time, you know, and he actually like he speaks in like normal English terms, like he doesn't even simplify anything. It's like so when are we gonna play games or something, like when he's like talking in like the Root chat. It's just like, man, he's
that's awesome.
He's all over it. He's a tryhard. I'm digging it.
It was a hatch first for him, while he's also dropping the extractor, so we will see a speedling opening coming from him. He's going to play safe, and I definitely recommend that against someone like PartinG. You don't really want to go 3 hatch gas loss against PartinG, because he will find a way to punish it. PartinG on the other end went for the 1 gate fast expand, and will most likely follow it up with a hatchery. Anything else would just be cray Nate. And even though PartinG is a crazy big boy, I don't think he wants to be that crazy in his first official game of the Intox 3 Masters Taipei, as he did not have to go through the open bracket.
Yeah. It's sensible. It's a sensible move for him to go for a quick Nexus. He will open up with the Mothership Core first. That Overlord. Hydra's like, I can see everything.
You know, when StarCraft 2 was just released, I used to be so mad. I was like, man, it's not fair, man. There's an Overlord.
Yeah.
Just like, why can my pylons not fly? And
like when you open up with a Reaper or something nowadays in TVZ, and the Zerg player's just like, I'm going to put my Overlord right over your barracks because there's nothing you can do. And then I get like 1 Marine out, barely, and the Overlord gets away with like 10 hit points.
Yep.
I'm like, no!
This is kind of cool. PartinG did open up with a Zealot as well, and that Zealot just started slicing away.
Do you think going after the rocks this quickly, he's just going to try to take a quick third?
Yeah.
Are we going to finally see some... Like, I am so excited to see the kind of builds people are going to pull out on this map. What if he goes for the gold?
I actually really like this by PartinG already. I really think this is a cool way. I haven't played around on this map too much. Most of the time I just kind of approach this map the same as I approach every other map.
The fact that he breaks Hydra's rocks are even better, because he can break both.
Oh
now.
no, the Zealot's on the wrong side.
He's trapped. Well, maybe he wanted to do a little bit of... Maybe he wanted to put this on like Hydra's third.
Yeah, I guess. What's going on? Oh, he's gonna 4-gate pressure, which is like the least... That's like the last thing you ever expect, but it's a speeding opening, so
this doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit like Sun. Oh my god, it's 5 gates even, Jesus.
What if... Oh, the Overlord.
Hydra.
Jeez. He saw the
he saw the gates in the front, so he knows exactly. He's like, man.
I thought he was just going to like plant a Nexus with the gold. That would have been dirty.
I actually kind of thought we were going to see something like that, but it's going to be a 5 gate instead. Hydra already dropping the Roach War, and that's an excellent play. Also worth mentioning.
You know what the thing is though, Kevin?
Tell me.
There is absolutely... like almost no counterattack window, right? As long as he trades.
Oh my god, he's so close.
PartinG has a lot of time to get a defense up behind it back home, no?
Yeah, but I don't think that PartinG...
he's gonna go for the other round.
I think PartinG wants to do more than just trade here, Nate, because he has no gas, he has no additional attack, he's on 1 gas, so he really wants to do some crazy stuff with it. He will be able to contain Hydra for a long amount of time, but I think that he was really hoping that Hydra was going up to 3 bases. And now soon he's going to see, like, man, you don't even have a third hatchery. I don't understand. What is this nonsense? That is actually what he's thinking. Circling. Still no. Oh.
Okay, now he sees. He knows.
And Hydra is going to be so confused, and just like PartinG, because PartinG is so ready to kill this hatchery.
He's like, your third base is dead.
Bro, there's no way you're gonna answer to all these zealots. Like.
So, how about them rocks, guys?
So now PartinG is gonna take 2 extra simulators. He's like, okay, I guess, you know, mission accomplished in the way that.
Yeah, but guess what's coming? Does he have anything that's blocking his main ramp?
A sentry.
Just 1 sentry. Whew, okay.
Well, sometimes Zerglings can sneak through if the sentry is not in hold position.
Oh! One pushes him out of the way.
I mean, he has 5 gateways, so he should be more than fine. He should be able to hold this. So now it's just a 2-base versus 2-base scenario. Oh, Hydra has to be very careful. He is going to be contained for quite a while. There's no way that these zealots will do well against the spike crawler, queens, roaches, and Zerglings. This is a pretty unique scenario. Oh my god, the drone count is awful though for Hydra.
Queen, what are you doing?
No. Oh my god, I don't like that at all.
Oh god, the meat grinder.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. He's losing a lot of Zerglings, and what's even worse, Nate, is that the drone count from Hydra is just so awful. I actually thought it was a lot higher than it is. Probe is going to live. I think PartinG is just going to contain Hydra for days. He's like, alright, you know, I may have shitty tech, but you don't have anything. You're a 2-base Zerg with no economy, so even when my tech is relatively crappy, it is still a lot better than what you got currently going for yourself.
Yeah. He's waiting at the bottom of that ramp. There's a time warp to slow down what's going to come out. Now he has enough energy for another force field, but these links coming from the other side. Zealot's still doing a reasonable job, and he warps in more sentries to help keep the luck down.
This is actually pretty bad for Hydra. Because this is similar to what happened between Sulky and Sun, but the biggest difference is that Sulky was actually up to 38 drones immediately, and at the 6-minute mark he had an 8-drone lead. This time at the 7-minute mark, Hydra was still down 8 or 9 drones. Now they're even on workers, but 2-base against 2-base while the Robo is about to finish up. That is not a pretty foresight at all for our Zerg player.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I really like this, even though...
I would go, okay.
Like, Hydra's going for Burrow, but... is he going to put that cannon behind the main ramp? That would be so sick.
The only thing is, though, if I was PartinG, I wouldn't try to win this game on 2 bases. I would definitely go up to 3 bases. Because if you go on 2 bases, how are you going to run up this ramp? This is a very tricky ramp to run up to. Even though he would have force fields, of course, to work with. But Tunnel and Claws being researched as well, I think that's very smart. But still, in my opinion, PartinG should just go up to 3 bases.
I'm not... I can see what you're saying. I just
don't question me now, Nate. I really need your backup this time.
Yeah. I wanna agree with you, man. I'm not gonna claim to suddenly become a PvZ expert on this map. This is the first PvZ I've ever seen on this map. At least that's actually using the features of the map.
Yeah, it's really cool the way that PartinG played this out, especially because this pylon is of course unreachable as well for Zerglings if he takes out the rock. So it's a really cool build. Nidus network going down, that's something I definitely had in the back of my mind. But there are so many sentries that a hallucinated Phoenix is bound to scout this. I'll guarantee you that a hallucinated Phoenix will scout it.
He's got to make one. He's adding on 4 more gateways. These roaches come down the ramp, going for a sentry, and he's showing his burrow. This is really nice.
I still think that he will definitely see it.
To get out of town.
This is a beautiful spot for the Nidus network, by the way. But
does PartinG know about the rocks that were destroyed, or is he gonna try to wait for his immortal to break them down before he comes across with the rest of his army?
I mean, he should know because there are a bunch of Zerglings. So
wait, let me check his vision. Yeah, he doesn't see the rocks on his mini map, so he must know they're gone.
But of course, you know, otherwise the Zerglings would have never been on that side of the map because they didn't go through the middle.
That's true.
Good snipe down the drone. Hydra is finally not really contained anymore, but the Nidus network is truly his only shot. And then maybe forcing a recall. Units are in an ugly position. And
where does he have vision? Where does he have vision to place the Nidus?
In the natural.
He has an okay, yeah, he's got the overlord there. Nice.
That is a beautiful.
PartinG doesn't have vision to that, does he?
Oh, PartinG actually just went for the main base. He has to be careful. He's gonna probably recall out. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think the recall is. I think that actually is even better for him because he needs to have his whole army here. Like if he stops the Nidus, I think it's GG.
And if the Nidus, ooh. Does he see the overlord? No, my God! It's someone who didn't see the overlord. That's crazy.
He still hasn't started the Nidus though. He's not pulled the trigger on this one yet.
I think he only wants to do it if the units are actually out of the main base, which makes sense. He's making a few drones now, and he's going up for a hatchery again.
So maybe he only PartinG at the center of the map again. Yeah, well, he knows now. His overlord.
In the middle, he can't fight. I actually think fighting in the main.
Yo,
base
what if his roaches come from behind and just knock down the rocks and block his whole army in there? Well, I guess Immortals would break the rocks, but that would be cool. That'd be like a cinematic, even though it wouldn't mean anything. He locks him out. I mean,
he knows that his army is in the middle of the map. These roaches are going to try to counterattack. I guess just go back up your ramp again. But PartinG's army is so much stronger than the army of Hydra. I really love this as well. This is very, very counterattack proof. There are cannons, there is an Immortal, these roaches won't be able to achieve a whole lot here. With 4 cannons, an Immortal, and a Zealot, this is no way, Jose.
Yeah, I think the Nidus would have done much better. He never used it. He was scared. And Party never scouted the Nidus, but now he'll see this Overlord too.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed by the fact that he never scouted it, because he had like 7 or 8 sentries, so he had plenty of energy. He's going to try to run up the ramp over here. Of course, this army is just so good against roaches.
There's so many 3 Immortals and this War Prism here, the ability to reinforce.
And let's not forget about the ridiculous amount of sentries. He has 15 sentries in this army, Nate. Can you spell force field for days? I think you could spend it in energy with this amount of sentries.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. He's got a great life going on and moving in now, force fielding out the rest of these queens.
There's actually quite a few Hydras.
Yeah, the Hydra's count isn't bad, but now that he's picked up the queens, the actually there were a ridiculous number of queens. There's still another one with 3 transfuses.
But Hydra supply is just plummeting, man. There are too many force fields. He's losing units one by one. He's going to be forced to pull the drones as well. But drones aren't going to do all that well against so many Stalkers, a couple of sentries, still these 3 Immortals on absolutely full HP. Hydra with only 66 supply left knows that this is going to be a GG assault.
Soul Train!
And PartinG will win game number 1 on Secret Spring off the back of a pretty cool build, knocking down the rocks early on.
I like it so much because we actually get to see that map used in a way that allows you to actually see like something different than all the other maps.
Yeah, I mean,
breaking down the rocks, when in my mind, if you see the other player doing that, it says, okay, he's going to be like really greedy. Maybe I could just try to kill him. In PartinG's mind, it was he thinks I'm going to be greedy now.
And the biggest difference between when Sulky played against Sun, as I just knocked the microphone off my head, I have been struggling with this wire way too much over the last few days. Eventually, guys, we will find a solution. I think the technology is there for me to not struggle with a wire.
I have an idea.
Really?
We'll do it when we get into the game.
Cool. We'll do it in the game. Anyways, Hydra just made so many units when he was still relatively low on drones, and he didn't have a 3rd hatchery. Like, if you stay on 2 hatcheries against a heavy gateway pressure, I actually don't really mind that all that much. But what I do mind is make sure that everybody make sure that the only people that are in this lobby are the people that are supposed to be in this lobby. But you know, the biggest difference between Sulky and Sun, this is taking like forever for me to get to the point. What's wrong with me today, Nate? I'm just not getting it together.
It's okay, Kevin.
He just made too many units on a very weak economy while only having 2 hatcheries. If he had 3 hatcheries and he's making a lot of units and he survives, it's fine. Those 3 hatcheries will just skyrocket his economy and he's going to be fine. But on 2 hatches, it takes a long time to recover from that.
Yeah.
And then he also got contained.
It's so sick the way that you can lock them out with the force fields because that main ramp is so small going down to the 3rd.
Yeah, it's a single force field.
Yeah.
And also, you know, the first time he ran down that ramp, that was a pretty bad choice by Hydra. He lost 20 Zerglings for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, all those lings that get caught with like all the zealots?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh well, unfortunate game number 1 for Hydra. Just kind of misread it and thought about going for a Nidus, then just didn't really want to commit to it. I actually think that would have been his best choice, especially with the way that PartinG's base was laid out. If PartinG would have recalled those forces that were on the other side of the map, while there's a Nidus network unloading in his main base, everything is going to be stuck in gateways and pylons and a mineral line. Then maybe the roaches can actually get a couple of easy targets, and it will be very awkward for PartinG to fight. Anyways, that was game number 1 on the Secret Spring. Game number 2 is live. Of course, Nate. Of course, it is going to be played on Overgrove.
You can't avoid this map forever, I guess.
Yep. Where our blue Protoss spawns on the right top side. And it is, of course, Yoey Flash Wolves PartinG. Our big boy.
PartinG fighting.
PartinG. Big boy. Big boy.
And, yeah, he's 1-0 right now against this gentleman in the southwest. Representing Root for Root. He is Hydra.
Big tournament for Hydra, Nate. One of the first times in a while that we see Hydra compete in a tournament of this level. We've seen him in a couple of qualifiers, and of course we know that Hydra is a beast. And, you know, Hydra is going to be one of these guys that's going to be a living nightmare for our foreigners, because he's going to play a lot against them, and it's not going to be pleasant for most North Americans. It's not going to be pleasant for most Europeans. But Hydra is also the type of player that can be unpleasant for those top dogs in Korea. And, of course, PartinG as a former world champion and a champion of so many tournaments, the reigning champion of perhaps the coolest tournament in the world, the Home Story Cup, is one of those absolute top dogs. So this is a big series, it's a big task for Hydra. I think he actually wants to go for a hatch block over here, Nate.
Ooh, that would be gnarly.
He
scouts the forge opening, so PartinG's not going to try anything fishy. No.
I kind of would like it if he goes for the hatch over here. I mean, PartinG, his natural would be so damn late.
Yeah.
Is he going to do a cats build?
You know, Hydra practices a lot with cats. That much I do know.
I have the feeling that this drone has great ambitions. And this drone is a chicky drone.
You sure he just doesn't like to stand in that area for no reason at all?
Kinda sure about it.
So here it comes.
I think
he's queued up the hatch, but there's a Nexus on the way. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Drop it in the main.
What's he gonna do?
Drop it in the main.
When the hatch is planted on you. He can't block the wall from being finished with a hatch now, right?
No, there's no.
Yeah,
no
I think
space
he's just
up
gonna
here.
expand. He's not gonna go full cats. Not
He thought about it though. He at least wanted to take.
He
the
had
hatch.
ambitions.
Yeah.
But the
He
drone
could have
was a
actually
little
just dropped that hatchery before his spawning pool. I'm not sure why he really wanted to get spawning pool before the hatchery. I don't really
I
understand.
guess the forge must have really turned him off to that idea.
Yeah, but it's actually not bad to do it against the forge.
Maybe he canceled the forge, so I'm not sure if it matters anymore.
'Cause like
maybe canceling the forge is how he was able. I think if he let the forge finish, then maybe he can't afford the Nexus fast enough to stop him from hatch blocking.
You know, Nate, I didn't even see that. That's really sick play by PartinG. He opened up with a forge.
Yeah,
if this would have been a hatch first, he would have been able to cancel it.
Yeah, I think if he finished the forge, he gets hatch blocked and then hates life.
That's actually.
That's a really high level play.
Yeah, that's cool. I have not seen this a whole lot. I really like it.
So another hatchery on the way for Hydra. He's going to go straight up to 3 bases. That's generally speaking what we expect, but for PartinG to have this Nexus up so quickly, that's a really, really nice spot to be in.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Double pro production so fast.
Yep. Way before the hatcheries. Of course, you know, there's still 3 hatcheries going up at the 4-minute mark, but these hatcheries will be done relatively late. The first one is about to finish up. He does, of course, have a queen already, and the second queen is about to pop in the main base. So it's not like Hydra is in a bad position, not at all, but I feel like this could have been so much worse for PartinG, and now it's actually just quite fine. You know, it's just a very straight-up game where he has a good Protoss economy, a very healthy Protoss economy.
Yeah. At this point, Hydra's just pumping out drones. I think he realizes, he's like, yeah, I'm not in the... This is, you know, it wasn't the ideal way that his opener would have worked out, but where does PartinG go from here? There's a Chrono Boost on Warp Gate. Do we get the 2-base 4 gate? Is he going to go a little bit further with it?
Well, he is playing against the gasless Zerg, and he knows that the Zerg went up to 3 hatcheries very quick, and often when they go 3 hatches this quick, they don't have speed. Sometimes they do, but it's a little bit counterproductive to get speed while going up to 3 hatches that quickly, because you're just working with such few drones that you can't even defend the 4 gate in some scenarios if the Protoss does everything right. We will see. There's a sentry on the way with 2 more gateways. I don't think he's going to add gateway number 4 right now, though. I'd be surprised if he does. I think PartinG is just going to play this straight up. He will go up to 3 bases.
Okay. Then my inner cheeser wants to think otherwise, but Roddy, you're much smarter than me when it comes to Protoss-related things. He takes 2 more gases.
You should remove the last part of that sentence.
Well, he took 2 more gases, so you're right. Whether or not you're smarter than me about Protoss, he definitely went your way. Whereas if it was me playing, I would have gone full Sad Arthur, just added 5 more gateways.
I would have taken the gold on 1 gas. Stargate going down. It's a damn late Stargate as well, so this is a very, you know, defensive, macro-oriented Stargate, which is just like, I just want to make sure I won't be surprised. I want to make sure that I have an answer to Mutalist as well if you would do something really silly or weird. Because with this build, or even your Twilight and your, you know, your Blink and your +2 is going to be relatively late. So the Stargate will help. And of course the defensive Void Ray will help against roaches as well. There are quite a few roaches in production. I think Hydra is worried about something. He's like, man, this... Oh, actually, how did there go 4 Stalkers? There's a pilot on the right side of the map. Probably top 3 observer and A.
It's all good.
But that pylon is so far away that it's not a huge threat, and it's also only 3 gateways. I don't think that PartinG will be able to achieve a whole lot with this, other than forcing out units, which I think is all that he wants anyway. He is distracting Hydra from scouting this target though, so potentially this Oracle could get a lot of damage done if Hydra does not pick up on it in the near future.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Just 1 queen alone is not going to defend the base. He doesn't have any Spore Crawlers preemptively built either.
But Hydra has to know that something is up, like, this should not be that easy. He might be able to catch a sentry over here.
No!
Yeah, he'll get the sentry.
Oh, no, he dies.
And he's going to spot the Oracle as well, that really helps. He can throw down 3 Spore Crawlers, 1 in every base, and it should be more than fine.
Yeah, now the spores start up. Oracle should still be able to get there in time to focus on a few drones before it finishes, though, no?
Yeah, especially if there's only 1 queen. This Oracle should actually be able to kill 5 drones. At the same time, these slow Zerglings are actually being very annoying on the other side of the map. Well, they're not that slow anymore. Speed did finish up. Yeah, that's great.
Nice. And as you said, that Oracle is going for kills, but only 3.
Well, 3 is alright.
Not ideal, though?
No, you're right. Especially not because he lost base number 3. If he would have been able to get away with this quick Nexus while dealing a little bit of economic damage.
Then it's Gucci, you know. It's good.
It's all Gucci. Oh my god. I'm gonna bring this
Void
up.
Void Ray finishing up now for PartinG.
That's Gucci and Prada,
Hey, man. I'm not sure that's quite how I roll yet.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Dirty esports money of yours. I've seen those donations on the Kappa Disciple stream. The other day I was like, Nate, do you want to go shop at Target? And he just laughed in my face and he said, no, only Gucci, Prada, and Burberry for me.
That's where I get my groceries too, at Gucci.
Hydra will activate charge, start working on a couple of these roaches. I don't think he will be able to cancel it again. There's no way. This Protoss army is pretty strong, especially defensively in this phase in the game. So Hydra should just probably macro up. He's getting a few Hydra lisk. He's on 63 drones. That's alright. I would like to see him squeeze out a few more drones before he goes crazy on the Hydras though. But I think he was worried about the crazy 2-base push, because often when you kill base number 3 from Protoss, they're like, alright, full set Arthur, 8 gateways, let's go. And then, you know, suddenly you die as a Zerg. You're like, I had 79 drones and my 4th hatchery was on the way. This was my game. These roaches achieved absolutely nothing, by the way.
You know, they gave the Oracle a workout, so at least, you know, they got that going for them.
Man, Oracle's so good against Hydra.
Now this Void Ray gets a workout too.
Yeah, but it's okay. These Hydras will save this 4th hatchery for now. PartinG knows that too. How did he not see that pylon? Oh my god, he has literally spotted everything other than this little pylon.
You are such a small pylon. How can no one see you?
This is not a pylon, that's Tosis, my son.
No, he's not that large.
He's not a
He would have been spotted so much more quickly. I mean,
if this pylon would have been part of 6 City, then it would have been spotted already. If you guys are wondering, what on earth are they talking about? There is a funny copy pasta.
We spend too much time watching streams of StarCraft.
Yep, just like you guys. We are very active in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Raise that KPM. Don't do it. You'll get banned.
Well, from what we've heard of the bots, potentially. Blink finishing up, +2 on the way for PartinG and a robotics base. So we'll be seeing him move towards Colossi, all the beautiful things in life. You know how much I love my +2 Blink Stalkers. As the biggest fan of Puck in the world, Blink Stalkers, they make my heart sing.
What do they sing? Or what does your heart sing?
Probably...
Kama. Yeah. No?
Something like that, yeah, sure.
Alright. Well, +2 missile attacks is on the way as well. I kind of like this game for Hydra now, though. Even though he's, you know, worker-wise, he's not doing phenomenal, but he does have 4 hatcheries. He has the gold base. He's dropping the Spy now. I kind of like that. The forward blink, as these Hydras are quite far out of position. Hydra has to start spending his money, though, and he sort of does it now as he fires up.
speed finishes up, so he'll be a little bit more mobile.
He fires up 44 Zerglings. I have the feeling he definitely wants to go into Mutalisk. Even though he's still just making Hydra link. It could be for a couple of Corruptors as well. I'm a real caster right now. It's like, guys, the Spires either from Mutalisk or Corruptors.
He could be doing one of several things. Yes. We're not sure.
He could be making both units that are available of the Spire. Revelation goes down, just like the Oracle goes down as well. Zerglings are a little bit out of position. There is an Observer over here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this Zergling flank. This would be suicide.
Yeah, but like,
into this.
Yep, okay, PartinG knows it, though.
Solid. Yeah, PartinG's no fool. PartinG ain't no scrub.
Oh, man, this is a pretty cool little action-packed game. Hydra's lost quite a few more units than PartinG did, but overall, you know, he's had a good economy. He's mining up that gold base. I think a Muta switch could do a catastrophic amount of damage, but is he going for Mutalisk though? He's still spending a little bit of gas, and he never took gas number 7 and 8.
If you want to switch into Mutalisks against this, you do need to take a really good trade, because there's a ridiculous number of Stalkers on the map, and so far PartinG hasn't really lost that many of them.
I'm actually a little bit worried. Now we see 11 more Hydralisks on the way. That's why Hydra is probably a little bit worried as well. These Zerglings were just looking for interceptions, but there was nothing to intercept. There's one Colossus over there. Excellent SimCity over here as well. Full gateway wall with 3 cannons. I cannot believe that this pylon has still not been spotted. This is stupid.
Such a small pylon.
Yeah, it's definitely not part of 6 City.
It's actually really
I'm worried, man.
really
like
useful to have that, because he can pull his army back, and if this gold base, like if he gets a little bit damaged, it'd be nice. Oh, it finally finds it.
He's like pylon.
Ooh. Like what? He's like, oh, he must have just placed this one. Gotta get rid of it quickly.
Now the Zerglings will start nibbling away at this pylon. Shout out to Polaris. He's still spending a lot of gas. He still hasn't used his Spire. Okay, now he took gas number 7 and 8. I think a Mutalisk switch is still an option. I don't like this engagement at all for Hydra. He's running up 2 Rams, but there are Colossus, and the majority of his army is light armored. Go, Nate.
I like the position that the Zerglings had on the army. He killed most of the sentries.
It was an awful fight, Nate. I'm sorry. He lost everything. Now there are 7 Corruptors on the way, but he's still down 30 supply. That was a really bad fight.
Yeah, but the help menu says that Corruptors counter Colossi.
Nate, look at the units lost resource tab and tell me you like that fight one more time.
I think Hydra's in a pretty bad position, Kev.
These zealots will start slamming away this hatchery. The hatch is, I think, going to live. It's so close. Oh my god, it is going to live. But at the same time, the fort base has died to this massive Stalker Colossus army. I just felt Hydra was a little indecisive.
Yeah, 10 hit points.
Yeah, I know, it was super close. That was just a lucky call by me. He did add a few Corruptors eventually. He has 7 Corruptors now, but against 39 Stalkers, 3 Colossus and a Void Ray. This is a Wings of Liberty army for Hydra, and I just don't feel it's good enough, especially not against the 4-base Protoss that has cannons everywhere. This army of PartinG doesn't really have a weakness. He has 2-1 upgrades. He's working on his 2nd armor upgrade as well. I don't think this is a fight that Hydra can ever win.
Yeah, I mean, PartinG is just in a phenomenal position. The Hydralisks are going to come from the bottom. He's got some forces up top as well. Guardian Shield gets popped. There are the force fields, keeping most of the Southern Army from actually engaging on top of this. And the Stalkers are going to blink back to defend the Colossi. One of them does topple, but the Void Ray even taking some shots like a champ. 1 Colossi remaining, but it's already done its job.
Yep, like I said, that Protoss army was just way stronger than that Zerg army. In the end, Hydra will end up losing everything. There are still a couple of Stalkers left. They're going to take care of the last remaining Corruptors. The Colossus have died though, so the reinforcing Roaches and Hydras may be able to do it, but I guess another Zealot flank actually killed that base as well. And, you know, it didn't really matter. It was just over already. PartinG takes the first series of Group D convincingly 2-0 over Root Hydra. Not a performance that will blow me away from Hydra, Nate. Like, losing to PartinG is nothing that anyone has to be ashamed of, because, you know, PartinG is one of the best Protoss players in the world. It's just nothing in these 2 games gave me the idea that Hydra was about to win the game or was about to do really well. I just kind of felt that PartinG was in control. PartinG just dictated the pace of the series.
Outplayed him, you know, straight up outplayed him. None of the weird stuff happened. He wanted to do the proxy hatch in game 2, but even PartinG just thinking to himself, he's like, hey, let me just cancel my forge since you drone scouted it. I obviously can't cannon rush you, and I think I can hold whatever else you'd be doing, and it worked.
I just felt that we were playing PartinG's best of 3. Everything in these games went in a certain way because PartinG wanted the game to evolve that way, and I never really felt that Hydra was saying, like, hey PartinG, you better react to what I'm about to do right now.
That's a really good point. PartinG really dictated the pace of the series from the very beginning of game 1.
This was the PartinG show, and Hydra was just like you guys and just like us, an observer who just had a little bit more input than we had, but in the end, you know, he was just watching.
Wow.
Solid performance by PartinG. Really, really solid.
One of those choose your own adventure books that always ends with you dying.
Yep. It's like, well, you know, you can pretend like it's like when your big brother invited you to play, you know, GoldenEye, and you think that you're part of the multiplayer, but you're not because they're better than you.
Because he's going to wreck you, but it's like, you know, you could try.
I'm scarred for life. Solid performance. PartinG will go up against the winner of Meru versus... Who is that 4th player again?
My brain stopped working.
True, that's right, the Zerg player, the intimidating Zerg, and we will be covering our lower bracket match. That is going to be Hydra versus the loser of that series. So for now, we're just going to head over to a very small break. Of course, big shout out to the sponsors of the Intel Extreme Masters, Intel, Gigabyte, Rocket, BankQ, and HyperX. And after that, we'll be back with the last best of 3 that Nathaniel and I will be covering of the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei. From that point on, you know, the day will end on the mainstream, and tomorrow it's going to be mainstream only, as there will be best of 5s and just 1 stream, as it's going to be playoffs time, baby.
Playoff time, baby. Playoffs!
We are going to watch it while having a nice drink and eating some bad food.
That sounds good to me.
Or maybe just a protein bar and a beer. Does that work?
Yeah, sure.
And then go to the gym afterwards, half drunk. Roll off the treadmill, woo, burning calories. Anyways, you're watching the Intel Extreme Masters. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the final best of 3 of the day.